In less than 2 weeks, Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmitt will be sworn into the United States Senate in Washington, D.C.
Only on Fox, our Missouri Capitol Bureau Chief Emily Manley sat down with Schmitt to ask him about his time as the state's top prosecutor and his plans in the Senate.
Eric Schmitt has been a state senator, the state's treasurer, and served as attorney general. He was elected last month to replace retiring Senator Roy Blunt in the U.S. Senate. One of his proudest accomplishments as the state's top prosecutor, he says, was working to clear the backlog of thousands of untested sexual assault kits.
Some go back just, a few years and some go back decades.
U.S. Senator-elect Eric Schmitt says it was his job as a dad, husband, and attorney general to investigate the 6,000 sexual assault kits sitting on shelves.
We've got 2 prosecutions that already have taken place, another 10 pending, and there'll be more. And I think that's because of the work that we've done on the inventory, the tracking, the testing, and now the prosecution side of it.
The Safe Kit initiative has been funded by both federal and state dollars. Next month, Schmitt will head to Washington, D.C.
and been granted the money to see this thing all the way through. My successor will be able to, we get to 100%, but we're 85% of the way there.
In his new role, he will work alongside Senator Josh Hawley.
I'm eager to serve with him, and I think that people in Missouri are going to be really happy with him. I think he'll represent them well. And I imagine that when it comes to legislation, I expect that we'll have a chance to collaborate frequently and often.
Because we both have seen how the federal government interacts with our state and some of the challenges that imposes, and willing to push back and fight back.
As the state's top prosecutor, Schmitt also led a multi-state lawsuit against President Joe Biden's college debt loan forgiveness plan, set to be heard by the U.S. Supreme Court next year.
There is no law anywhere on the books that gives the President of the United States, one person, the ability to wipe away hundreds of billions of dollars worth of student loan debt.
He also won a $35 million settlement against big opioid companies. That money directed towards helping victims with treatment and addiction programs. The Republican from St. Louis County says he plans to continue to push back against federal overreach.
I think you look at some of the fights we've taken on, whether it's border security, taking on big tech. I think some of the abuses we saw from federal agencies during COVID, those were fights of my choosing that I think are really important to have somebody stand up for the people of the state.
Last month, Governor Mike Parson announced that his general counsel, Andrew Bailey, would be filling Schmitt's role as Attorney General. Schmitt will be sworn in to the U.S. Senate January 3rd. Reporting from Missouri Capitol Bureau, I'm Emily Manley.